Oh, how's it going, folks? Gonna get another video. Don't know what to talk about though. Yeah, super nice day out actually. Like it's actually real. I mean, it's kind of gloomy, but the sun's kind of out right now, as you can see. I'm tempted to put on the sunglasses, but I have a feeling if I put on the sunglasses, then the sun's gonna go away. So that doesn't make any sense, right? Anyways, so let's get another video in and just go exploring. I got to do some grocery shopping, so I'm gonna head out on my way to Meyer. On campus right now, this area actually over here with this fountain. When the spring comes around and that fountain comes back on, it's my favorite place on campus. So figured I'd stop there and just check it out. It's nice to see even without the water. But when the water comes back, I'll swing back out here sometime after a meeting and get a video of it. Anyways, let's go right now. Oh man, I tell you what, it is nice that it is finally almost spring. Like we're about to March now. We're about to March and it's nice. I almost feel like I gave myself a flat doing that. I didn't. And my tires do feel a little spongy. I might have taken that a little too fast, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, I probably took that a little too fast. Let's try this. Let's check my balance. I don't have great balance, I'm not gonna lie, so. Oh, I didn't do that good at all. I did not get the pull. I needed to pull a lot better. That's okay. Yeah, see how nice it is out? I mean, how could you not want to be outside on a day like this? Oh, somebody's running. You see that over here? I don't know what's happening, but I'm curious. I'm guessing his buddy left without him. That sucks. I'm curious. I kind of want to. I'm impressed by this kid's resolve. I'm not going to lie. He's still going. And he's still going fast, too. He hasn't really slowed down at all. So I'm going to speed up, try to catch up. I'm curious. Like I said, I think his buddy just. There it is. He caught up with him. Good on him. Good on him. Holding up traffic, and that's not fun now, but I mean. I can't even be mad about it, man. I don't know, folks. What should we talk about? I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. I relaunched the... Well, here's something to talk about. So, the Work in Michigan podcast. That is almost a year old. I think in sometime this month, I mean March. By the time this goes out, actually, it might be like a year to the day since the first episode was ever launched. And some backstory on that. The podcast was started with the intention of interviewing entrepreneurs and business owners from the state of Michigan, right? 100% was the goal was to start that, and then every week interview somebody else. And the idea behind that was, you know, I'm interested in business and I love the state of Michigan, so I kind of wanted to find some small ways to promote business in the state and, you know, meet other business owners and get their stories out there, share their audience. And it is kind of a perfect idea, I guess. I don't want to say idea. It's not, is there such thing as a perfect idea? I don't know. Anyways. The idea behind it, though, was that the podcast would grow rapidly and these people would get these businesses would be exposed to a new audience rapidly in turn, right? Because if I'm putting out these weekly podcasts, interviewing their different business owners, and then they get to and they share it with their audience. Well, now I just reached, 500,000 people. Not 500,000, but 500 or 1,000 people, right? So I I'm exposed to a new audience through that. And then as that grows faster, these people, are then exposed to people who are interested in the podcast. And as that grows and that audience is out there, well, then they just got exposed to a whole new audience as well as that podcast grows. So, and it's free marketing materials to build affinity with their existing customer base. So, I mean, I saw it as a win-win situation. And, hey, maybe new partnerships come out of that, right? Or investment opportunities. Maybe they get some new ideas, or, hey, now they know somebody in marketing of, hey, I got this idea. What are your thoughts? Like, absolutely. Why, you did me a favor by being on the podcast. Why wouldn't I, establish that connection and friendship? Why wouldn't I do that? And if they're interested in marketing, then hey, that's great. But, that's a connection for me, or a new lead for me. But on top of that, now I know places like the first podcast, Homestead Woodworks. Well, now I know that if there's something I want custom made, for my house, like a sign or something, well, now I know who to contact. Contacted Jackie from Homestead. So it's just a win-win situation, and people enjoy conversation. So that was the idea. But I had a co-host for the first, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. Brought my buddy Louie in on that. I figured it'd be nice to have a co-host on it, and same thing. He's very interested in business and entrepreneurship and whatnot. So I was like, well, this is perfect. He's interested, he'll learn, and like I am learning, and we'll kind of we'll go that route. Like, that's cool. But the schedules just weren't really lining up, and it just wasn't working out. And there's 100% no hard feelings there. I mean, Louie and I are still best buddies. We see each other pretty regularly. Usually 2-3 times a month. So I mean, we see each other quite a bit. But just the schedules of being able to research topics or meet with people and everything, it just wasn't working. So podcast went on hiatus for a little while, and then it was brought back in November, I think, 2021 is when I started doing that again. We're back on the hill that I always seem to end up on. Anyways, so the podcast went on hiatus while I was finishing up my master's program, and then last fall I brought it back, and have been doing it relatively consistently, almost weekly. I've missed a couple weeks, took a couple weeks off, but now there's 11 episodes out, and I shied away from having the interviews. I started putting out content related to particular topics in small business, and I thought it might be a fun project, and it wasn't my thing. I liked it with Implement Impact a lot. That was fun. Loved it for that. But I'd rather, I think, write a blog or talk with somebody, or record a 10-minute video breaking down a specific topic rather than going into a whole in-depth thing. Or I don't know, the podcast, it was fun, but it wasn't my thing. So I decided I'm going to start pursuing, I got enough episodes that people can figure out who I am. So now I'm going to go back and actually start reaching out to people to have guests. And man, I tell you what, the response to that has been way better than I anticipated. I booked out for the next 2 months already on that. So I mean, if you think about it, it's only 8 people, but I've only reached out to 11 people to be on it. I figured I might get like 50% yes, 50% no. It's had more or less 80% yes, which is great. And same thing. It's as it grows, more people will want to be on, and the dream would be eventually that I don't have to reach out to anybody that I don't want to. Which, let me phrase that properly. Everybody I've reached out to is somebody that I'm genuinely interested in talking to. The dream would be to, have these people that I am interested in, that I want to talk to, be able to get a hold of them, but to also have people who just reach out to me like, hey, I want to be on your podcast. That would be awesome. That would be absolutely incredible. That's the goal. That's the dream, I guess, to get it to that point, which I think I will, and I think I'll get there within a year, right? A year from now, with like 52 guests on. I think that'll be great, and I think it'll happen by then. So it's been exciting. Yeah, like I said, booked out for the next 8 weeks already, which is crazy. Very excited about that. I should say booked out 8 weeks at the time of this recording. I did slow down on my reaching out to people. Honestly, I would like this to be about 4 weeks, like a month out. Like, hey, a month from now, do you want to be on? Because then I have a backlog well enough, and if somebody bails, then I can just have a solo cast about something. The response has been great. I'm really excited. So go on there. I know I said it in a couple of videos ago, and I was wrong, that I was just going to do Work in Michigan on my own YouTube channel. I decided to actually back away from that and go back to Work in Michigan, having its own YouTube, own LinkedIn, own Facebook, own Instagram, own all of that. And the reason for that is that Jackie, the first person who's going to be on, and was excited to be on, she said, I tagged you in my Instagram story, like letting people know that I was going to be on your podcast, so I tagged you. She's like, but I couldn't find a Work in Michigan podcast. And I said, yeah, that's true. And I explained it. She said, oh, okay, now that makes sense. And I was like, well, what do you think? Do you think I should have the its own YouTube channel and such? And she said, I think so, because then I can tell somebody, hey, I'm going to be on Work in Michigan, and if they don't know what it is, then they can go to Work in Michigan and find all of this, and then they'll find you through that. And I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense, which just shows that no marketer has every idea. No marketer is 100% right all the time. And if you ever find one that tells you that they know everything, or that they are always right, or that they know best all the time, then don't trust them. I was just going to say that. So I brought all that stuff back, and I'll be posting pretty consistently on there. Once a week on the YouTube channel. Once a week on the YouTube channel, with the podcast, and then 2 to 3 times a week on all the social media platforms. I might one day, break it up to be like, this person from this place, interview part 1, and then a couple days later do part 2, and then, if you sign up for the email list, then you get access to the full episode. Or if I ever go to Patreon route or something, maybe I'll go that way. I don't know. That's still something to consider out in the future. I also don't know if I'd be interested in any Patreon kind of thing. I think I want to just provide more value than just. And I'm not saying that people who have Patreon are providing value. I just don't know if that's the route I want to go personally. I kind of want to just get this out to as many people as possible. I mean, maybe if I did Patreon, it could be like, hey, you get early access by a week or something, like whatever it may be. Figure something out like that. I don't know for sure. Regardless, I'm excited and I'm happy. So we'll see. That'll either go well, I think, or all gonna die in a nuclear war. I don't know which one's gonna happen first. I'm sure the podcast will be just fine. So yeah, anyways, I'm very excited about that. Very excited about the prospect of how all that's playing out currently and how it appears to continue to play out. So I'm very happy about that. Like I said, first podcast as of today went live at 5 a.m. And I think you guys will like some of the businesses I have lined up. And my goal, when I started the podcast too, the goal was ultimately I wanted to have Dan Gilbert of Quicken Loans, one of the founders of Quicken Loans, and fellow MSU alum, by the way. Wanted to, the goal is to get him on the podcast, and I think I can do that over time. It'll take time, but I think I can do it. So yeah, folks, I think that things are going well. I'm very excited. I think the prospects of things they're looking up. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm excited. Let's end this here. We'll stop this video. I'll record another one, and then we'll get 3 out in a week or something. So let's do that. All right, folks. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I'll see you with the camera in like 5 seconds as I restart this, but you guys will see me in a day or two. Anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Go check out the Work in Michigan podcast. The link's down below, as always. And thank you so much for supporting this channel, or any of the channels, the blog, the podcast, just being a friend, viewer, whatever it is, man. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. So until the next time, as always, have a great day.